600 million people. That's how many Africans still live without access to electricity. 600 million potential economic drivers, held back by a lack of basic power. Not unreliable electricity, not expensive electricity, no electricity at all. And yet the global community tells Africa to leapfrog straight to a transition they are not yet equipped to handle. In the West, the conversation is about decarbonization, phasing out coal, reaching net zero. But how do you transition from what you do not yet fully have? This is the African paradox. Welcome to a landmark edition of Policy Tension. Today we go beyond the headlines to explore a different path, the sequence transition model, a strategy for dignity, growth, and leadership. Chapter 1, the foundation of access. In many parts of rural Africa, the setting sun marks the end of the day's potential. Energy here isn't a luxury, it's the bridge to survival. Phase 1 is about reach, not perfection. It means rapidly scaling access using the most reliable and affordable options in context. It means getting power to people, fast. Whether it's solar mini-grids for remote villages or diesel backup when the sun isn't enough, Phase 1 focuses on the immediate need. It is about lighting the first bulb. When the lights come on, the local economy ignites. Businesses stay open longer, productivity doubles. This is the foundation upon which all other development is built. You cannot decarbonize an economy that hasn't been built. Access is the prerequisite for transformation. Without it, the talk of transition is just empty rhetoric for those in the dark. Access means life. It means clinics that can store life-saving vaccines and hospitals that don't go dark in the middle of surgery. Energy access is a public health imperative. It means education. Digital literacy begins with the ability to charge a device. Phase 1 closes the information gap, one community at a time, creating a level playing field for the next generation. Building this foundation requires a new financial architecture. We need blended finance models that de-risk projects for private investors while ensuring affordability for the poorest consumers. The capital is there, but the delivery mechanisms must be as innovative as the technology itself. Phase 1 is as much about financial engineering as it is about electrical engineering. Chapter 2, diversify and scale. Once the foundation of access is laid, the focus must shift to growth. This is the stage of industrialization, requiring a robust and diverse energy mix. High-growth economies need baseload power, energy that is stable and consistent enough to power heavy industry, modern hospitals, and expanding transport networks. Renewables alone aren't enough yet. This is where natural gas plays a critical role, providing the stability and reliability that intermittent sources can't. It is the fuel for the industrial heartbeat of a rising continent. Phase 2 is also about integration. Regional grids begin to connect, and energy markets start to trade across borders. Energy moves from a local service to a regional engine of transformation. Regional power pools, like the West African Power Pool, are the key. They allow surplus energy in one nation to meet the deficit in another, creating a resilient continent-wide network. This isn't just about pipes and wires. It's about political and economic cooperation on a scale never seen before. It is the true meaning of the African Continental Free Trade Area in action. We see this in special economic zones where reliable energy is attracting global manufacturing. This is where the Made in Africa label finds its competitive edge. By scaling energy, we are scaling jobs. We are scaling opportunity. Phase 2 is the bridge from a raw material exporter to a value-added manufacturing powerhouse. Africa is urbanizing faster than any other continent. By 2050, more than half the population will live in cities. These cities will be the new engines of global growth. But these cities cannot function on intermittent power. They need the massive, stable grids we are building in Phase 2. It is the literal foundation of the modern African city. As cities expand, so does the demand for 24/7 power. In Phase 2, we build the infrastructure that can support massive urban growth and the rise of a new African middle class. It's about building the grid's resilience. It's about creating the jobs that only a stable energy supply can provide. Phase 2 is the bridge from survival to sustained prosperity. Scaling is not a choice, it is a necessity for economic sovereignty. Without Phase 2, the continent remains at the mercy of global supply chains. With it, Africa takes control. Chapter 3, decarbonize and lead. Only after the infrastructure is scaled does deep decarbonization take center stage. This is where Africa transitions from catching up to leading the world. Africa possesses some of the world's greatest renewable potential. From the vast hydropower of the Congo to the limitless solar energy of the Sahara, the continent is a sleeping green giant. By now, Africa is a global hub for renewable innovation. Green hydrogen becomes a major export, and the continent's vast renewable resources finally dominate the energy mix. Leadership through readiness. This is the strategic edge. Africa won't just power itself, it will power the world. We are talking about a fundamental shift in the global balance of energy power. Green hydrogen is the new oil. In Phase 3, Africa leverages its low-cost renewables to produce and export this fuel of the future, driving a new era of industrial wealth. From the ports of Namibia to the coast of Morocco, the infrastructure for a global green energy trade is being built. This is Africa's contribution to a net-zero world, on its own terms. With renewables dominating the mix, legacy high-emission systems are phased down. But this is a managed exit, not a chaotic collapse. It is a transition that ensures economic stability at every step, not through external pressure or arbitrary deadlines, but through readiness. When the green alternative is better, cheaper, and more reliable, the transition happens naturally. That is true sustainability. Africa becomes the world's battery. It's a transition built for African prosperity, providing clean energy to the entire globe while lifting millions out of poverty at home. This is the end state of the sequenced model. A continent that didn't just follow a script, but wrote a new one for the rest of the world to follow. Leadership through innovation. This is a redefinition of the global narrative. Too often, the world assumes every region starts from the same place. But history tells a different story. Africa's path is unique. The global story assumes we all start at the same line. But to ignore the energy poverty of today is to commit a grave injustice. We must respect the starting point of every nation. Developed economies built their wealth on fossil fuels for over a century. To demand Africa skip that foundational stage without a viable alternative is to ignore the lessons of history and equity. True equity means ensuring that every human being has the right to power their own development. It means a transition that leaves no one behind, regardless of where they start. The risk of a blind transition is a generation left behind, a generation without the energy they need to innovate, to build, and to thrive. We cannot afford that risk. The answer isn't no transition, but it isn't blind either. It is sequencing. It is the right energy, in the right place, at the right time. Context must always trump ideology. A pathway that evolves alongside development. Sources chosen by context, not by ideology. This is how we build a future that is both green and just. A future built on reality, not rhetoric. Africa's future will follow no one else's script. It is a story of resilience, innovation, and self-determination. A future that is diversified, African, and sustainable. A continent fully illuminated, built and then transformed by its own people. This is the sequenced path. It is the only path that leads to true, lasting prosperity for all. A future where every child can study, every business can grow, and every nation can lead. A future we build together, starting with the first light in the darkest village. The goal is not just to transition energy systems, it is to build them from the heart of the continent, to build the foundation of a new global energy superpower, and then lead the world in transforming them. A bright future for Africa is a bright future for the world. I'm Sunskyo's narrator Q34 and this has been a landmark special of Policy Tension. Join us next time as we continue to explore the policies that shape our world. Thank you for watching. Build, scale, lead. This is the African path. Good night.